Hey guys, it's ViewMasters Reactions, and we're back with Campaign 2, Episode 39, Part 1. In the live stream, we watched the first half of Episode 39. We ended with Liam and Sam, aka Caleb and Not, extremely high off of mango-looking fruit. There is fruit growing off these trees. I would have definitely not ate it, but it appears that was the correct choice because we can now read this hidden language on these tablets. Only the people who are eating the fruit can read it. Caleb was going to do a spell where he could probably see it anyway, and then it didn't matter because Jester and others shoved fruit in his mouth. He is now drugged as well. I'm going to assume that the fruit is solely there so that they could do this act, because there was all these scriptures. There's an east, west, north, and south tablet. There is a 12 or 14 inch long by 8-inch high, I think it was, holes, so to speak, in the tablets on the bottoms. I don't know how far they go through. We're about to inspect them. Taliesin was like, I'm going to use my light up the area a little more. But that's when we took the break. He was about to light up the area so that we could see these little narrow openings. I started thinking the fruit was going to turn us into these snake-like people, but I don't think that's the case. The way it was spelled out was, the sacrifice feeds the fountain feeds the garden feeds the warden, and the warden guards the... I don't know, but that was the last part, and we're probably not quite there yet. Either way, we had the sacrifice feed the fountain was above it, dropped down, we go to the garden where these trees are growing in darkness, no sunlight, fruit is coming off them. We did eat the more rotten fruit. Was there more fresh fruit? Because it's just like not to have eaten the gnarlier fruit, but I feel like the gnarlier fruit is the fruit we needed to eat to see what we're seeing. Liam didn't have much of an option or a choice. They shoved it in his mouth, and his trick would have worked, probably, said Matt, as far as using a spell to read it. I don't know. I'm just going to have to go with it because it already is what it is. I think that eventually it'll run out. The only thing that confuses me or makes me think twice is Matt said, you have no idea how long this is going to last or what it's going to do. But I think he's just like scaring us. I don't think it's going to get much worse than that. However, we do see all these humanoid people that have turned into snake people. So how did they turn into snake people? Was it done some other sort of way? Because we really don't know. And they're leading me to believe that people are being turned into snake people. Maybe I'm 100% wrong about that. But the fact that he said they were humanoid looking and we tried to use a spell on one of them, a hold person. Jester tried to hold person. And he's like, you can't because they're not people anymore. They're so far gone, they're no longer people. So let's just jump in. We're going to watch this. We're going to jump into the Patreon Hour exclusive. And I might even do part 2 today. Who knows? I also wore my Molly shirt, because I was looking at it earlier, and there is the eye, literally front and center. There is also what looks like an eye on Molly's cheek right here. These are things I never really noticed until we got into the whole Ford escapade, where now eyes are a big deal. I don't know how I never thought of it before. I guess it's just like you guys have told me, how just because you see something doesn't mean it's connected to the other millions of things in the world. So we see a furbog. I don't think all furbogs are connected anymore. So let's jump in. You guys want to see more of what I do? Full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons out of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is at the end. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, Patreon Hour exclusive that we do for every episode. We have recently started Steven Universe, Centaur World, My Little Pony Gen 5, One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man. Check it out. If not, here we go. Campaign 2, Episode 39, Part 1.
Where we left off. You had found you began to go and inspect some of these tablets with these gaps beneath the bottom. Which way did you want to go?
Oh, the one that was...
That's right, because how big are the gaps? 12?
They're about 12 to 14 inches wide and about 4 to 5 inches tall.
Exactly what I said.
That's not...
On the bottom.
Less tall than I thought. I thought it was 8 inches tall, 12 to 14 inches wide.
Sure.
So it's 4 to 5 inches tall.
Yeah, because north was...
Not very high. 4 to 5 inches like that.
Okay,
not even.
but
like
hang
barely
on.
that.
Do we want to go in like order and start with the fountain feeds the garden?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
Or sorry. The sacrifice
No,
feeds
sacrifice
the fountain.
feeds the
At
fountain
east.
is first.
All right, there is no tablet or hole in the east.
Oh.
Oh, what about...
No tablet or hole in the east.
South.
What's next?
south. Fountain
The
feeds
fountain
the garden.
feeds the garden.
Okay.
Yeah.
Head to the south. Who's doing what? Are you looking
I'll take
through
a look.
All right. Make a perception check.
I'll take it.
Are you doing it with light source below?
We got some Freddy Krueger music.
Absolutely.
I'm gonna keep some distance to see if anything snaps at
Perception
me.
check.
I've gotten.
Okay, something snaps at me. What?
Not very good.
15's not bad.
15. Okay.
Yeah, that's not bad.
Glancing inside, you see what
I
looks
would
to
say
be
12 or less is
a
bad.
hatchery of some kind. There's a strong smell of fermentation in there. A majority of the room seems to be a series of clusters of like roughly 1 foot tall eggs that have all been placed in various edges there, nestled in soft dirt and molding
We got snake hatchings.
Eggs are always good in D&D.
It's got to be snakes, right? Snakes hatch from eggs.
Can I get a sense of the sort of animal that would have
This is the south room.
laid? Yeah, it's the south.
I think they're
You also
using
see what
this
appears
as
to be a broken humanoid corpse, long decomposed, kind of jammed by one of the clusters.
Is he wearing manacles?
No manacles.
There's a human.
Also, can I figure out, being in here, do we have any idea how the...
Are they putting humans by the eggs to make them into humanoid snake
portholes,
people?
those like 4 portholes up above would feed into this room?
It reminds me of like Alien,
Make perception check.
where they go in and they see like the nesting grounds,
how
I guess you
healthy does
call it,
that
where all
egg
the
look?
eggs.
Well, there are a number of eggs inside there.
They're lizard eggs, aren't they?
They look to be
Snake
somewhat
eggs.
reptilian.
Yeah.
How healthy? Oh, yeah.
I mean, it's hard to tell from this distance.
I don't think they're
All you see is the
lizards
eggs in the
because
the
we've
body there.
already talked about having a lizard.
there's some
It could be
large
we're
reptile eggs. And
Yeah, they start about like 4 feet
slave
into the
labor,
room,
like
and the room
lizard
itself, from
people.
what you can see down there, is enclosed.
This appears to be a hatchery of some
If
kind.
this is the fountain feeds
hatchery,
the garden,
yeah.
maybe this isn't the garden that they were talking about.
Oh, the garden is the eggies?
I'll take a look to see if...
Maybe the garden is the breeding of the eggs. No, I think the garden is the fruit.
Yeah, God, these are terrible. 14.
Yeah, because the garden feeds
14.
the
You
warden.
do see in some of the walls, about 2 feet off the ground, appears to be similar-sized holes that are kind of pushed in against where some of the vines and some of the carvings are that curl upward. You imagine probably meeting with some of the holes above. You get the sense that perhaps something uses these
yes,
to traverse
exactly.
up and down parts.
I
of this
figured so.
Where
but
usually once the eggs
things
hatch, they
use
come up,
these holes
or
to
this is
traverse
how they get the
quickly
eggs
up and down.
This is a nesting area. All right, what's the west side, really quickly?
You head to the west one, and you go ahead and look inside. Yeah. I imagine putting the spheres in as well. Make a perception check.
I can feel my hair growing.
Oh, that's better. 19.
19. Glancing inside, you can see it's a relatively simple chamber. From what you can tell, there are elements of stonework placed in, but they haven't been carved, and they're only partially done. Like, they got most of the temple finished, and then kind of haven't quite fully completed their work in going over the walls inside. The small chamber is maybe 15 by 10 feet, and while there's no other real discerning shapes or details to it, you do see about 10 feet ahead of you, it seems to descend into stairs, 10-foot wide set of stairs.
Any writing or anything in there?
No, but I see
And
it.
Liam and
I think it keeps going down.
Caleb
I
and
think they just
Nod are
never
still
quite
high as a
sealed it
kite.
up.
Seems like a
Matt
pretty
specifically
important
said you are
entrance.
very high.
I don't know why that would be last on their list.
If you're not expecting problems, and they don't seem that bright, but
Well, they're not. The warden can take care of itself.
I guess we'll take a quick look at north just to finish things off.
Okay. Make your way to north. Make another perception check, please.
Why is everyone yelling?
Not is hearing everything
22.
magnified.
This looks to be a sister hatchery room to the one at the south. This one does not contain any a body, but it just appear to be other clusters of eggs.
Is it possible to
See,
tell
the
if these
one
eggs
had
might
a
hatch anytime
body.
soon, or are they just best
Are they
left
combining
unmolested?
Make a nature check.
humans with
All right,
eggs? Like, I don't know how
my
that would
nature
work.
is terrible.
But I don't know
All
what.
right. But I rolled a natural 20, so that should.
Natural 20. Beautiful.
With what experience you have with seeing much smaller snakes and other type creatures in nature, not really fully understanding the gestation period of Yuan-Ti, but these eggs don't look like they're ready to hatch in the next few days or so.
All right, he just
There's still
confirmed
some
they're
time
Yuan-Ti.
before the oldest kind of clutches.
I mean, we
This is
assume
true.
so much.
They both
but
look similar. Both seem kind of.
Yeah, I'd say so.
So there's probably no direct danger of just leaving these things untouched for now. I mean, that's. But I'm definitely. I think we found a way down, at the very least.
We found our way into the room, though.
I mean, that's how big is that? The entrance into that little unfinished.
It's the same, like 5-inch tall, 12, 13 inches wide.
See, the
space.
width isn't bad, but the
Look to be
5-inch
on
tall.
Any hinges
Most
or
Make an
of us,
investigation
if not all
levers?
of us, maybe not could fit through there. Caduceus could change his shape.
Yeah,
though,
it's a
can he?
natural one.
Natural one.
I have no idea.
Caduceus. I can't remember the specifics, but Caduceus could
Sure,
change
make
his
sense.
size. I
No,
feel
I'm still
like,
big.
right?
No.
No, I'm not still big.
Like how tiny could some of us get with our changes and disguises?
No, 12.
12. It's wide enough, the actual stone tablets, maybe about 3.5, 4 inches long. You can get your fingers through and pull another side, but it does not budge at all.
Does it seem like it's separating from the rock even a little if I take a look at it from the side?
Yeah, make an investigation check.
Why does it have to be doors? Of course, doors.
So that's a 13.
13, okay. It doesn't separate at all, but you do see each of the tablets, they're part of the wall, they're actually slightly recessed in as opposed to placed against it. And you can see a very, very faint gap where they would probably slide either side to side based on some mechanism you don't see.
Now, you think you can fit under that gap?
That's the only thing I could think.
Of course I
Possibly
can.
not.
It's a
Is not
vast
tiny
cavern
enough
down
to
there.
get
Get going.
skinny to 5 inches, 4 to 5 inches in height. I don't know. That is
Which one are you
tight.
going
That is
in?
literally like
Which one are we near?
like
Which one
that's
has
like
the
cat or
stairs going
critter
down?
size hole.
The stairwell
That's
one.
that's the western one.
I guess I don't
Yeah.
All right.
Oh my god.
Make an acrobatics check just to see if you can
Here we go.
squeeze
Acrobatics
through the
check.
space.
Honestly, to me, it wouldn't make
14.
sense. But I don't know the
Your
ability
small
of goblins.
goblin form has no real problem.
right,
You have
small
to kind of
goblin
range your
form.
skull at a certain angle to make it through the gap. But you do manage to make your way through to the opposite side of the chamber.
See, like I'm thinking
What do you say?
bone. You can't squish down
I'll
bone.
be back.
Your skull
What?
isn't
I'll be
bigger
back
than
in
4 or
5
5
minutes.
inches.
No, what do
maybe
you
not,
see in the
as
room,
as a
not-
goblin?
What?
I mean, a human skull is
know.
9
What
or
do I
10
see?
inches.
You see, the simple chamber, it looks like, at
Maybe
first like it was
narrow, it's
unfinished
less, but
carvings in the
like
walls. It looks
long
like
ways,
the
maybe it's
carvings
like-
just come to a completion.
I don't know.
And then the
I'll
rest of
go
it's
with
just
it.
a solid
I don't know
stone
goblins.
interior that comes that stops at a wall on the opposite end about 15 feet in, and stairs that slowly curve down about 10 foot wide that just begin to go in a wide spiral downward.
There's some carvings, and there's a moving staircase.
Is it moving?
I think she said
She said
moving
moving.
staircase, yeah.
Yeah.
Do you
not
see
moving.
us? Do you
It's
see
not
us
moving.
sort
It's
of-
just going back and forth.
Yeah.
Pressing face against the crack on. Do you see? Jessa wants to know if you see switch.
like
That's
a
what I'm
key or
asking.
a
Yeah,
switch
like-
or anything.
Indiana
I'm
Jones is
gonna
the
take
switch
some.
on the
I'll
other
look
side.
See if this mechanism
Clever.
connects.
Yanti,
to
like
lots of types of
globule
Yanti can
or
turn
an
into
owl?
snakes at
There's
will.
like
It makes
any
getting through 12 to
keyholes or
14 inch
switches
holes
or-
very
Make an
easy.
investigation check.
I'm fascinated by the walls. I rolled a 28.
Wow.
Okay, so amongst the right hand carving, you
Every inch of texture.
you look within one of this
Furry
simple
walls.
portion what looks
Get
to
'em to the
be
Greek, that's what I'm
a
picturing.
pillar or an obelisk as part of this carving that looks like a similar construct to the city that surrounds this temple, but the obelisk itself. It appears to protrude from a slight groove, and behind it there's an actual gap behind the obelisk, and you reach through and give it a tug,
The lever or something
and it pulls forward about an inch, at which point the doors,
opens.
Okay, look out of the way.
Beautiful.
all three of the doors open at once,
Oh,
and
they're all
the,
working together.
the fountain raises up to
Oh,
close and return to where it was above.
Nope, didn't find any.
Good job, Dot.
Nope, found nothing. All right. So everything works simultaneously.
Why don't you hold Jester's hand
the
and
fountain
we'll,
rising up and down, and
we'll
the
see
doors
where
opening
these
and
stairs
shutting.
lead.
Grab a couple of the fruit that are on the ground that look,
Oh, you,
and put them in my pocket.
Okay. You fill your pockets with fruit.
I do the same.
Okay, y'all grab
You
some
trying
fruit.
it?
Oh yeah,
For a
yeah.
special
grabbing.
occasion.
Same.
Yeah,
I'm going
I
to
would
take
not
some
have
to put
any
in my
more
bag
people
again.
try
Okay.
it.
So if you grab some fruit and put it in
I'll
your
take
bag.
some for the road.
Okay.
Just to hold.
All right.
Do we need that much fruit? I mean, hey, I guess
Jerry's
why
kind of
not?
waiting for all this to happen.
We're taking
Avantika
lots of
isn't
fruit.
immediately visible.
Is not immediately visible. Jimmy, where'd your boss go?
And you can see the southern wall of Antika's rushing back towards you. Well done, congratulations, shall we?
Why was she running
Where
back
were
from
you?
the south wall?
I was inspecting the other chambers as they opened.
Did you find anything?
Well,
She
we
seems
touched
like
on
she
Some eggs and a
knew.
dead body, huh?
What's the dead body?
There's a corpse in the other chamber.
Anything good?
Rotted flesh and some bones.
Oh, you must know all about that.
I've seen a few in my time. Perhaps even caused a few. She kind of looks at you with a grin. And you watch as this like brief burst of flame kind of in front. Oh, this is going to be so much fun.
Indeed. Captain, I feel like
I don't
we
think
are
she's doing anything,
having all the fun ourselves.
bad, per
Perhaps
se,
you and your
but I think she
friend would like to take the
knows
lead
more.
this next round.
and
That was not
literally
part of the
ran right
arrangement.
to
You are
whatever she
proving
needed.
your use to me as my companions and part of my team. As the captain of the ship and as your superior, I tell you what to do, and you do it.
I mean, we're not on the ship right now, though, right? Hard to captain a ship when you're 100 feet underground.
Yeah, anything could happen right here.
So what, you kill me, then return and my entire crew just wipes you out as you arrive?
Kill you, my goodness. We were just trying to offer you a little bit of fun for this next stage. We have
Oh,
no
I
problem
can read
going
between the
first.
lines quite strongly, therefore. I appreciate that. Look, this is not me trying to impose my will, just continue the arrangement we made. And I do not feel like taking the lead. No, that is not the safest route for the captain, huh?
Why are you looking at me?
Because you're the one
Is
that
she
mouthed
invisible?
off.
No, she's visible.
But you're the one that mouthed off.
Did you eat that fruit?
Marisha's the one that. Marisha's the one that said we don't really gotta follow you anymore,
Wander
do
over and
we?
see if that.
No sense in
If there
starting
was a
any
dead body
problems.
in the other one that she left.
Yeah, there's a dead body there.
Is there anything missing from the room?
Make a perception check.
Bo, by the way. I don't know why today I'm in I think I
Oh, did
just
you
because
see
I
that?
just
That was
watched so
crazy.
much Talks Machina. I'm referring to everybody by name.
13.
Not as crazy as a bug.
I mean, that's in
Yeah.
Bo's
You see-
character. Bo
you
is
see the
going to
egg
push back.
clutches,
And
you see
it's
the body.
another
Not
female,
much
so
else in
maybe Bo is thinking, listen,
What does the body
bitch,
look like?
I
It
get
looks like a
it, but
decomposed corpse.
right now's not
kind
the
of,
time.
Did you already cover this?
See tattered clothing, like broken leather belt, a simple satchel, kind of like hangs open, just rotted and gone. It's been there for a long time.
Anything in the satchel?
You go ahead and scoop in. Look, it's empty.
Does it look like
I love the music they're playing. It's very like
there's
mysterious.
no way I could tell if she took anything from the
You have
satchel?
no idea.
She took something from this satchel.
I think so. I think
Stop
Avantika.
back to the
See,
rest of the
Bo is thinking Avantika is up to something, and I totally agree.
She was the
But
first
it's one
to
of those
inspect
things
the
like,
body.
don't show your cards. I would be like, all right, yep, whatever you say.
So, who
we
is to
follow
make
you.
their
Aye, aye,
descent?
Captain. And
How
then
about you,
when we
Captain
need to,
Tusktooth?
we flip.
You choose one of your subordinates to lead the fray into the subterranean chambers.
Okay.
Look at see.
I think she's volunteering, huh?
No, that's. Yeah.
Let's,
Go, Bo! You're so cool. You should lead it.
yeah, let's go unleash the
See,
big
Bo is
snake.
not
That sounds
big at this
unanimous
at all.
then. Beauregard, I believe is the name that they keep calling you.
Oh,
Please do find your way down. We'll be right behind you.
Tracy's my middle name. And I walked downstairs.
That was
Alright, so it's
good.
marching order.
See,
Philip,
Bo,
come in
I
here real
get.
quick.
I am so much like Bo,
Philip,
but like I feel like Bo
Who is?
gets like defensive.
I know.
Like
How
sometimes
big
you
are
just
those,
gotta eat some
big.
shit for the long game.
So, Beauregard's at the front.
We've been down here for days.
We should think about maybe, getting them some coffee or something before we go back down.
Me.
All right, Jester's after Beauregard.
Oh, somebody's dead. That's yeah.
I will admit, though, Avantika she's like,
so you wanna
I'm not,
put
pulling any
Gosh,
shenanigans.
to put
We
them
made a
in
deal.
there.
We have an arrangement.
Very bad.
But there is a way to go about it with
just so
her,
we have
too.
a clear
I don't
on
agree with
either
what
end.
Avantika's doing.
All right, and
But Avantika's not
Avantika's going to stay
technically
back
my
with Ford,
teammate.
and Caduceus
By
and Yasha's
maybe
gonna be right in front
default,
of
she is right now.
Alrighty.
But not nearly
So-
as important as the mighty.
Are you descending quietly?
Yes.
I need you all to make a stealth check.
Like, I'm just playing ball with
Oh.
Avantika
Did
because I
Stonies get
feel we can
disadvantage or
use her
anything?
Well, I'm
temporarily.
gonna give you a blessing of the trickster right in front
As
of
soon
me.
as we're done with her, she can.
D plus
Shite.
advantage.
I mean, it depends. If she's on the level and is our friend, I'll
Natural
treat her.
20.
Natural 20.
Alrighty.
Drop acid all the time.
Dropping ass.
Roll for Yasha if you don't mind.
Natural
as well.
20.
All right, Bo.
17.
20.
15.
5.
Holy shit. Yasha rolled a natural 20.
2 natural 20s in one
So,
round.
while you catch yourself about to stumble down the stairs, Yasha just reaches out and catches you and stops you, pulls you back quietly onto your heels, and just pats you on the shoulder and continues walking down.
Beautifully.
Oh,
3
God.
natural 20s.
All right, so
Who was the third?
This later.
you guys quietly make your way down this spiraling staircase that descends 20, 40, 60 feet before you see it begin to open into another chamber. Jamedi has the torchlight and kind of stays back so as not to let any of the flickering light pollute into the next
I
room.
had
It
like
kind of
3 coffees this
gives a
morning.
nudge that
It is
direction, and you can see
8
that
o'clock in
where
the
the stairway
morning,
kind
and I am
of begins to
so
continues to
jittery right
descend,
now.
but there is an area where the wall comes to an end, and there is an open chamber lurking on the other side.
This is where the warden lives.
So continuing through, Jamedi staying back, not wanting to
See,
show
I
the
thought what they
torchlight.
thought initially.
She was going ahead
that
to
the warden is whoever eats the fruit. That's what Caduceus
with my
thought.
goggles
I
on,
thought
see if I
exactly
see
that, but
anything.
now
show you
I'm
what
not
you
so
see.
sure. We're still thinking. We're still thinking the warden could be something else.
Brand new map.
Guys,
got
D&D
about
Beyond
10
is
minutes
partnered
left
with
of part
Doodle
1.
and Grim
And he's breaking out a battle
to
map.
paint my face. Check it out.
We're gonna have
$50
to.
off.
I mean, we're gonna go another 10 minutes, but we're definitely gonna finish this in the Patreon hour.
Why is that there?
There's just too much going
It's a
on.
similar
For
shape.
10 minutes to be done.
It's a different room.
There's a different wall piece.
Show me the battle map.
She doesn't see the other side of it.
It doesn't look like this.
Yeah.
Yes. So,
Can I see it, please?
Just looks so special.
Why
as
they
you look
keeping
past
me
the
in
corner on that
anticipation?
staircase into this chamber, you see these 3 large load-bearing pillars, intricately carved, that make their way to the ceiling of this roughly 60-foot chamber.
Those are big ass pillars.
You can
Load-bearing
see
beams in
in the
houses
center of it what looks to
basically
be
hold the house together.
a
So we chop these
a
columns
pool
out,
of
these
water,
pillars. we could probably knock
round
this
like a
bitch
small
down.
well, but the entire chamber itself is filled with about an inch or 2 of water, and you can
Those are big ass
see
pillars.
just while it's not a glass surface, there's a slight disturbance to it. You can see there's a slight shift. You see a shape that is currently kind of coiled quietly on this end.
Is it the warden? Is the warden a
see one of
specific
the-
character?
Large, like full-bodied snake Yuan-Ti that you had encountered briefly in the
15-footers?
city outside of the temple that had grabbed Jester and was about to
Oh,
make
one
off
of the big
her.
dudes, 12, 15
You can
foot
see
tall.
the long 15 or 20 foot long serpent-like
This is the
lower
biggest.
part of the body where there are no legs, just this long snake
others were
that coils
12 to
around and
15
around.
feet.
The muscular, wide, human-like broad shoulders and muscular arms
20
themselves
feet,
folded forward. You can
possibly
see the
long.
head, this full snake head is curled in, eyes closed, and almost like prayer or sleep. You could see strung across one side of its back is a long scimitar that's sheathed. The other shoulder has what looks to be a longbow
shit.
kind of thrown over the shoulder, and there is
So this thing
a
is-
beautiful silver shield, almost like silver and marble, that's resting on the ground next to its
It's got
coil.
double
and it's just
weapons and
quietly
a
looking
shield, and it's
down towards the pool of
probably
water.
as
You
big
can
as all
see
of us
There are a couple
combined.
of other raised platforms in the chamber, decorative or ceremonial, you're uncertain. but it is quiet. And what little movement that remains there probably is just the very faint ripples of the last bit of physical activity this creature had made amongst the surface of the 2 to 3 inches of water that fills the chamber.
So the whole chamber is 2 to 3 inches, and the well.
From what Bo can see, yes.
Okay, but the well.
But the well
is
has
a ridge.
risen above it, and the surface is still on the top of that well.
I communicate all of that to everybody. Caduceus, you were talking about some...
Has it been more than 10 minutes since the fight?
Since the fight? Oh, yeah.
Okay, just checking.
You were talking about some poison resistance.
I can do one.
One.
Who's gonna take it?
Honestly, I think it should be Bo. I would say Bo should take it because
All I have are these.
I would say give it to Bo because Bo's got to get up close
Yeah.
and personal to fight, and she's
Give it to
worth
Bo.
it. So give it to Bo. Yes.
All right. I'm going to cast.
Of anybody, she's the one
protection
that's-
from poison on
I'd
Bo.
either give it to her,
I also communicate.
maybe not.
Yes.
But
Level 2. So you just have advantage on saving throws against being poisoned, and you have resistance to poison damage.
beautiful, beautiful. I think that's the
I also
logical
said-
choice.
Thank you.
He has a shield and a scimitar.
And a bow.
I don't know if we can
And a bow.
Hit him
get
that
the
easily.
get the shield away from him. Would make him easier to hit.
So
I almost want him to have the shield because if you don't have the shield, he's going to double wield weapons, right? He's got a
There is no
scimitar
light source.
it
and a
looks like
bow.
he's
He could be like, ba 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 ba.
you said?
I want him to almost
It
have the
almost
shield,
is like
so
he's
he's less
meditating,
offense.
like I did that one
I don't
time.
know. It's debatable.
Yeah.
Do you want him to have 2 weapons or a shield
good
that he
monk.
could defend our
Yeah.
attacks? I mean, either way, it kind of
He's
sucks.
like looking into the water, which makes me nervous about the water, because what could come out of it?
Exactly.
I feel like we should spring an attack on
You
him.
don't have to
What
worry
if he
about
goes like,
feel like we should
"Gah, gah, gah,"
spring
like howls like a
We'll probably get
banshee?
one shot.
I was gonna say monkey, but that makes no
Get the
sense. It's a
shield.
snake.
Who's got one awesome shot?
We do.
We do.
We do.
We do.
We do.
What's your awesome shot?
It's a little something we like to call fluffernutter.
They both said it
I
at
want
the
to
same
say
time.
yes. I just don't know if now's the time to be demoing a new thing.
I say
Can you
let us
pitch it
have
to
it.
us in 30 seconds or less?
A quick pitch would be
They
really
both.
good.
This
Do you have
isn't like
blank sheets?
something they just came
Or
up
should-
with
you know
because
what?
they both said it at the same time.
Fluffernutter sounds great.
Yes, do the fluffer nutter. I want to see the
I'm so
fluffer
high
nutter.
right now, but I know that is not a good idea. What is it?
All right, here she goes. They're what are they doing?
What are you holding?
What is that?
I'm pulling
What
out
are
the
they
little keg
doing?
of black powder
Oh
that
God,
Rob
yes,
stole
yes,
from
yes. The
private
fluffer
ship.
nutter.
And I've got my explosive arrow.
She could throw the powder keg, like the
to get a
gunpowder
picture.
keg,
Yeah.
at
Couple
it
quick
and
thoughts.
shoot it.
When we tried to blow up the tree, didn't work so well.
I want
2,
this to happen. Do it.
load-bearing beams in a closed room with no windows. So
Do
it's
it.
gonna hurt us too.
Fluffernutter.
Fluffer
Okay,
nutter,
the
do
name
it.
is great.
I don't
I'm
think
just
if
thinking
you
maybe in
do it right, I
practical
think you'll be
use,
all right.
Not the best idea here.
Think about this.
I'm the only one doing that.
She throws it. I fire.
Yeah,
It explodes.
no structural
No
damage.
structural damage. Only damage to
He's
the creature.
screaming, like not
That's
as
how I see it
screaming.
going down.
I say yes. I think they're right. It is right by that pillar, though. And he specifically said it was a load-bearing pillar. So now I'm not so sure based on
the
the
ground
specifics.
is covered in water, so the powder will get real wet.
Unless you throw it
Hold
and
for
hit it
just a second.
mid-flight.
Captain.
You just have to hit it before it hits the ground.
Yes.
Do it.
I have been
I don't
admirer
know,
of your
but I'm
ability
saying do
to
it.
disappear.
It is also next to that pillar. It's right
We
next
could
to
use that
pillar.
talent now if you thought you could get up close and strike without being detected. None of us.
Fireball him.
I cannot do that right now. 1, I have not prepared it. 2,
Caleb is screwed
I'm
up.
really messed up.
Yeah, he's really messed up.
Do you think you have the skill to pull off
Yes,
such a feat?
I believe they
But
do.
of course, I can make myself or another invisible.
Or another.
Like
Avantika
you
can
with
turn
the
someone else.
keg.
Yeah, take the keg.
The keg.
Get up close.
Or I could be invisible, go in and touch him and cast inflict wounds.
What's that?
Is that pretty heavy duty?
It does a lot of damage if it hits.
Do you want to
But
be?
we won't kill
Do
the
you want to
thing.
be danger close like that?
It's 5d10 and it's an
Let's do it.
That's not enough. That's not enough.
But she could potentially get a good. Okay. Okay.
You're just
Not just keeps doing
off
it.
the end of it onto the floor.
He keeps twirling the gun 4th time. He has now cocked it 4 times.
I could also summon.
We haven't summoned Schmidt in a while.
Schmidt.
What is Schmidt?
He's
They don't
the
remember
invisible
Schmidt?
friend.
Yeah, but that's not going to do
To
like.
carry the keg.
How does he not
over.
remember
No,
Schmidt?
no keg. No
Schmidt
keg.
was like
This
all
is
over
this
at
is
the beginning.
fantasy and magic. Fuck the black powder keg.
What are you talking
We're at
about?
the
Counter argument.
counter argument. The 5th cocking of the gun.
good. Have a strong feeling that keg of black powder won't do that much damage.
It will make. It'll deafen the creature.
Nope, don't even know if it has ears.
It might bring some rocks down from the ceiling.
And kill us all.
No, it'll make a big puff of smoke.
I
no
think
one will be able to
I
see.
could be 100%
Molly,
wrong.
could
But I
produce
think
this-
even if we took out one pillar, I think we'd still be
it
good.
happens all the time.
3
Do you
giant
have-
load-bearing pillars. I don't think we'll take one out. But even if we did, I think we'd be all right. I say we go with the fluffernutter.
I don't think it needs to see. I'm not even sure if it really. Do I know how snakes?
You get the sense from the fact that most of this temple is not lit at all and has no light source, so they probably can see in the dark.
Yeah, I would assume they could see
They have
quite
eyes,
well.
so they
Not
can
in
see.
smoke. Not in smoke.
That's not how darkness works.
Yeah, we make a bunch of smoke. The whole thing is like, I don't know what's going on.
Burning.
I think
Smoke still obscures in darkness, so.
I think that we need to stay
call.
far away from.
See, I was like,
think we need.
I get
I
what
think
Bo
that
is
this
saying.
thing-
Maybe
if-
smoke.
I think we need to get
Bo's
its
not
shield
feeling
away
well.
from.
Matt
So if we're
confirmed it
thinking
will
keep it
make
our
a
distance.
difference, but I was thinking the same thing. Will smoke actually
many
blind
people
them
are
because they
seriously
don't need to see?
considering
But I guess
fluffernutter?
smoke will
Show
screw
of
them up
hands.
mentally, or at least it'll just disrupt them. Show of
Can we
hands.
put that to bed
I
now?
think
No.
that's about 15 to 16
Do
minutes
it.
in my
I
eye.
wish
Don't
not just
deceive
went.
me.
Go. Just do it, not. Go.
Governor?
Governor, do it. I want not to just fire recklessly and Jester runs in and we do the flutter.
I've never been thinking clearer than right
At the arcade, we have a dessert called the Fluffernutter. It's from when my father was younger.
Big time.
They had a Fluffernutters. It was like peanut butter, marshmallow
and
fluff.
then inflict the wounds with my
Changes a
duplicate.
little bit depending on
the
where
keg
or
in
who
with
you
your
are.
Duplicate is a
But
very
in
good
the
idea.
arcade, we have
Caleb.
Fluffernutter,
Caleb,
marshmallow peanut
what
butter,
is the
waffle ice
nastiest
cream
thing you
sandwich.
have?
I did not bring anything nasty like that. I came to be, a team player today, like I always am. Captain,
Yes.
do you have any?
Was it Philip?
Philip,
Yes.
do you have any ranged abilities? Is a sneaky one?
I can throw this, and she kind of like tosses the dice and
Dagger,
catches
yeah.
it. But I'm more of a up close and personal eviscerator.
Yeah.
I'll duplicate in and inflict wounds.
Can she make your duplicate invisible?
I can make my duplicate silent, and
But
maybe.
anything that walks through there has to float above the water, or it's going to disturb it and alert.
Yeah, it's a duplicate. It's not going to touch anything.
It's a
really.
hologram,
Also,
yeah.
It's a hologram. It's an illusion.
Okay. Actually, I like that the best.
I'm into that.
I'm
and
into that
someone
too.
should look
I'm sad that we
at
haven't
the
gone with the Fluffernutter.
dodecahedron.
We already did it today.
Yeah, I've got it.
Oh, you got it?
He did it today already.
Okay.
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 You're gonna send your duplicate to inflict wounds, float above the water. Don't disturb anything.
Okay.
But plan B.
Fluffernutter.
Sure. Yeah.
All right.
Can you two?
At least it's still on the
No.
table. It's
If-
still there.
If any of us are in the room, No.
How
fluffer
big
nutter.
is this explosion? See,
Okay.
I'm starting to second guess myself. How
No.
big
No.
of an explosion will? I mean, it is a keg of gunpowder.
I feel like
I feel like it would be
talking to baby Groot
significant, but not
So
crazy
if we're in the
as they're
room,
thinking possibly. Or Ford. Ford seems to be very concerned.
fluffer nutter?
Fluffer nutter?
No fluffer nutter.
I took the
Are you
conversation.
more coherent than me, so that you two can attack in as one? Because I have seen you do a lot of damage when the enemy does not know you are coming. Could you go simultaneously?
At the same time.
Yeah, you watch her, and when her dupe goes, you go, and then.
Yeah, so that he doesn't see it coming.
Oh, there's so many of
Caleb
you right now.
explained it
Yeah.
quite
I
well.
can shoot him at something.
Whatever you're doing, let's do it.
Let's do it.
Both of you,
Okay.
same time.
Can we peek in without it seeing us?
Like both.
Jester.
You can certainly try.
I'm
and,
honestly
uh,
surprised
dark
at this
vision.
point. We have discussed,
Silent
this
as
is going
shit.
back to what I said
Take off
prior,
my explosive
before this
bolt
episode.
and put on a
We have
rag.
discussed this for a good while now. I'm surprised Matt hasn't said, while you're all
Given the
discussing,
circumstance,
this giant
I would put
snake
Jester
man
and Knox
is like
nearest
right in
the
front of
top
you about to
here.
hack your heads off. We've been talking about it for a good 5 or 10
Right.
minutes.
And then behind
I guess
Jester
we're
and
being
I would be
quiet and
Hoover.
it's keeping to itself.
I think it's who?
I guess me.
It wouldn't have surprised me though if Matt's like, you took too long, it already knows
Safe
you're
for
here.
purposes of-
Yeah, I'll be close to the front too. I'll get nasty. I have dark vision. I mean, the second that water gets disturbed, it's gonna be boy howdy.
Oh,
Who's
that's
up after
so
that? Sorry.
I'll be me and Ford.
Alrighty.
After this, I'm gonna have to break. I just realized I'm way over. I'm like 10 minutes over.
Who's
So
after that?
part
Wizard
2is
in
gonna
the
be
back.
short.
Say Avantika.
Patreon hour
in
will
the
still
back.
be an hour.
Wizard and cleric in the
Part
back.
2 is gonna
yeah.
be a little shorter
Alrighty.
than this.
I'm still
Yasha
the
can
wizard
be
in the back.
behind.
I just want to see how we all line
And he's
up.
staying back here with the
My
torch lights.
anaconda don't. My anaconda.
Alrighty. That is the marching order as you guys are
Marching
in
order.
the staircase.
All right, guys, so there we go. That is part 1 of episode 39. We're already way more than halfway through. We got the Patreon hour. I think I was only supposed to do about 30 minutes, give or take, of part 1 and 2. We're almost into 40 minutes. Granted, I did a 4 or 5 minute intro, but that means we're probably only going to have about 25 minutes for part 2. Not a big deal. We'll just talk a lot more. That will lead into us starting episode 40 on Livestream Friday. Here's what we're going to talk about real quick, and then we're going to start the Patreon hour. I'm going to jump right into the Patreon hour, but I totally agree with Bo that Avantika is acting like, yo, I'm the boss and here's how we do things. But that was the arrangement and agreement we made. Now, I totally am like Bo, where I'm like, don't tell me what to do. Who the hell do you think you are? There's more of us here now. What, you and Jametti are going to take us on? Like, we'll kick your ass. And then she's like, yeah, when you get out of here and go back to the ship, you're going to have a problem when people start asking questions. I get the frustration and pushback from Bo, but I feel like right now is not the time. And you don't want Avantika thinking that we got people on the Mighty Nine that are going to push back too much. We want Avantika to think we're playing ball and we're on the team. So I kind of don't blame Bo for a little pushback. And then it kind of, we kind of came back around pretty quick. Bo was not wanting to have it, but she was like, okay, like whatever you say. She was still having a bit of an attitude, but honestly, a little bit of pushback might be more respected. I was originally like, watch how far you go, but she didn't take it too far. And like I just said, Avantika might respect that there is a little pushback. If you eat too much shit and you take too much abuse from people, they might lose respect for you. So I don't mind the little pushback. It's just you got to be careful what you do, because at a point, the person might not trust you anymore. And now we get back to the ship and she's like, you know what? I don't like the talk back, so I'm going to throw you in the brig or imprison you now or something. She doesn't want people questioning what she does. So at a certain point, we got to just pull back. But I think it was handled all right because she did it and then she pulled back. She didn't like push. It was like kind of resolved. I wanted to see the Fluffernutter. Here's the thing with the Fluffernutter, and then we're going to jump into the Patreon hour. Matt made it a point to say there are 3 load-bearing columns in this room. For him to specifically say these are load-bearing columns, I feel like there is a chance that we could blow these columns off and knock this whole temple down in itself. If it wasn't for him making that comment, I would never even have gone there. But I used to build houses. Load-bearing beams are basically the support that holds the house together. If you knock out the support beams, the rest of the house will crumble in on itself. But it does take a lot to knock out those load-bearing beams. And I'm talking like regular house beams. These are gigantic columns that go up 60 feet high, I think he said. They're quite massive. I mean, look at the size of the giant snake man. He's 15 to 20 feet long or big, however you want to distribute it. He's nowhere near as big as the columns. I'm thinking if we set off this explosion, we would really not have that much to worry about. However, if I'm wrong, we all die. That's the problem. It's like if I'm wrong and one of these pillars goes down and that's enough to collapse this. Here's the other thing. There's 3 pillars. In a house, if you knock out a load-bearing beam, depending on the vicinity, it won't collapse the house in because you have other load-bearing beams. We have 3 load-bearing pillars. What if we knock one out and the other 2 still are able to hold the structure? Maybe not long-term, but long enough for us to do what we got to do and get the hell out of here. Then if it crumbles in on itself, who the hell cares? But like I said, if I'm wrong, we all die. I think that's Ford's major issue with it. I still think we should have. I love that Knot and Jester already had this all preconceived because I thought Knot was drugged up and making it up on the fly. But Jester immediately knew it was called the Fluffer Nutter. They both said it at the same time, and they both knew exactly what was going down. I'm thinking I would have done it, but I'm also thinking, is that the easy way out and the quick way, and it kills us all? And it's like a Molly situation where we went in too hot and heavy and ended up dying, or at least one of us died. I don't know. I'm starting to lean more towards Ford that even though I think it would work, if I'm wrong, it's dangerous as hell. So maybe we don't, but I like the idea. And now we're all marching in. We're lined up. We've got one dude here so far, but there is 2 to 3 inches of water. There is a huge room. We already know there's all these ventilation type ports going up and down that snakes could probably travel through quite quickly. So let's find out what we got. The Patreon hour is probably going to finish off this battle map. I'd be surprised if we go a full hour and we're still in this mode. But if we are, amazing, because I want to see this battle progress for the next hour and a half, if possible. You guys let me know what you think. You want to see more of what I do, full unedited episodes, all the shows on the channel, seasons ahead of what you're seeing, hundreds of exclusives you only see on Patreon. The link is in front of me. Dozens of shows you'll never see on YouTube. I just don't have time to edit it all. Doctor Who, Person of Interest, the Patreon hour exclusive. We're about to jump into One Punch Man, Chainsaw Man, My Little Pony, Centaur World, Steven Universe. All these shows just started. At least 6 to 12 shows are exclusive to Patreon. Check it out. If not, comments down below, like and subscribe, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Peace.